I never thought I'd ever have any of this. And I am so grateful and blessed to have some of the role models and amazing leaders that really helped shape and mold me into the man that I am today. I grew up in Whittier, California, born and raised here. I'm the youngest of 3 children. For most of my life, I was raised by just one parent. My father was in and out of prison, and he was also a heroin addict and an alcoholic. When my father was there was a lot of, arguing and fighting, holes being punched in walls, verbal aggression. It triggered, anxiety. There's times I dealt with anxiety as a child. I did know the Lord from a young age. My mom, she would do the best she could to take us to church at Victory Outreach. As I got into middle school, I started going to church a little more, and I was getting pretty close to God. By the time high school came around, that's when I strayed away. Then I started to party. But at the same time, I was dealing with things at home. I see my dad overdose on heroin when I was 14 years old. And then shortly after that, I found out that he got diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver. They came to pick up my dad after an overdose, and I seen the EMTs coming in to the room and the firefighters. So I was really inspired by that. To get away from addiction, I enlisted in the United States Marine Corps, and I went to the Marine Corps when I was around 20 years old. Through those 4 years, I still dealt with anxiety and depression and substance abuse. And when it came time for my discharge, I had seen a friend that I went to high school with, seeing that God had completely turned her life around. So I reached out. I was like, hey, I really need to go to church, and I'd really like to get my life together. And I was started to go to group throughout the week. I was going to church on Sundays. I started serving in ushers. That was my first ministry. God was doing a work in my life. I knew that I was going in the right direction for the first time in years. But it was in LOF when I really, for the first time, I was able to forgive my father, and I was able to forgive myself. That year, I moved into the training center, and it was the best decision that I could have ever made. There, I became a leader in the house of God. I started having my first group. I was growing in the Word, growing in prayer. I met my beautiful wife, Brianna. We have our beautiful daughter, Emma. I never thought I'd ever have any of this. And I am so grateful and blessed to have some of the role models and amazing leaders that really helped shape and mold me into the man that I am today. Through the Word of God, I was able to find that I'm called to help save souls and make disciples, that I'm called to be a husband, that I'm called to be a father. I'm called to help people break the same chains and bondage of addiction that I did. My name is Manny Espinoza, and I am blessed to partner with Jason Lozano Ministries.